Well, hi guys, welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita, Khemka, and my colleague Yatin Mota, who has been, of course, caught up by the World Cup fever, as we can see him in the get-up. Yatin, the tournament has started, and we are, of course, waiting with bated breath for India matches.
Absolutely.
The first one on the 8th with Australia. Your thoughts? What are you looking for?
I think I'm not looking for the 8th match, but I'm looking for the match on the 14th, which is India Pakistan in Ahmedabad, and all of us, are looking forward for that. And the World Cup fever is here. Over 45 matches to be held, and after 12 years, the World Cup is coming back to India. Obviously, from GDP to hotels to bookings to tickets to
food
online
delivery.
streaming, food delivery, everything is in focus. And obviously, cricket, the fever flows through India, and most of us,
nation.
and most of us bleed blue. So yes,
absolutely.
This jersey is for the same.
Well, let's see. All the best, India. Let's see. Let's hope we bring back the World Cup this time around. But on that note, let's also take a look at the markets. Given the fact that we are seeing green across the screen today, thankfully after 2-day drubbing. So the Nifty above that 19,500 mark. In fact, near about the 19,550 mark, we shut shop. 100-point gain coming in there. Sensex also jumped somewhere on 400 points or thereabouts. But the broader markets were underperforming today. So the mid-cap index ended with mild losses. But what's doing well today was the IT pack, as well as FMCG was one pack that was doing well yesterday, although today it came under a fair bit of pressure. Banks as a pocket were doing well, but PSU banking lot not all that great today. Pharma and FMCG, as I mentioned, among the other losers. If you look at the individual movers on the Nifty, you had L&T, Bajaj Auto, Titan, TCS, iShares. These were among the gainers. Remember, next week we will see some of these IT heavyweights report their numbers, and ahead of that, some of these counters are buzzing in trade. Nifty losers today: Power Grid, Hindalco, ONGC, and some of the names from the pharma pack like Cipla. But Yatin, what about the mid-cap end of the markets?
So, if you look at the mid-cap end of the market, quite active. Obviously, mid-caps did try to bounce back, but not most of them were able to be that successful. Now, if you look at the small-cap index, that was up nearly 0.5% last time I checked, and the mid-cap index ended almost flat. So, the action really was in the small cap end of the market. If you look at the gainers, we had the likes of Prestige Estates, eClerx, Infibeam, Angel One, all of these stocks gaining anywhere between 5 to 10%. If you look at the losers, Marico after the quarterly update, which was quite weak, we'll talk about it in detail in our focus list, but that stock was down 5%. MapMy India witnessing some profit taking from higher levels. Stock was at 52-week highs, but the stock declined in trade by nearly 4% today. Naveen Fluorine, a lot of brokerages have been now putting out reports wherein the growth is also a challenge along with the management exit that we have seen. So that stock also under pressure, being the top FNO loser along with Marico, down nearly 4%.
All right, on that note, let's take a look at the top stocks that are on our radar this afternoon. I'll start with Zomato, given the fact that all of these hotel, aviation, online delivery, all these stocks are in focus as the 1.5-month tournament has just kicked off. And look at Zomato, it's clearly riding the World Cup wave. It's up somewhere around 5%. In fact, the stock hit a fresh 52-week high and it crossed at 107 mark in trade today. Obviously the outlook on the stock is pretty much positive, given the fact that there is a World Cup taking place, and all the home viewing customers, in fact home viewers rather, they will be ordering food, of course, to enjoy the match, along with a lot of drinks as well. So Motilal Oswal believes that expected increased orders as well as more restaurant partnerships will be something that will support Zomato going forward. And in fact, even if you look at Karan Taurani's comments, Elara Capital's Karan Taurani, he says that pizza as a category has lost market share over the last 3 to 4 months, and within the overall QSR change. In fact, it's a win-win for other categories like burgers, fried chickens, and it's a good positive for coming in for the likes of food aggregators like Zomato over the near to medium term. And if you look at, the mutual fund holdings in the stock, they have also increased, and it's in fact on top of their buy lists now. And if you look at the stock performance over the last, 6 to 8 months, the stock is up somewhere around 75%. In fact, if you look at it on a YTD basis, and if you look at the technicals also, the relative strength index of the stock stands somewhere around 61.3, which indicates that it's neither in the oversold zone nor in the overbought zone. So looks like the stock is in for some sumptuous gains going forward, as it is clearly riding the World Cup wave.
Absolutely, and Zomato, this is one stock which has seen strong turnaround as the management really focuses on profit margins and positive contribution from the food delivery business. Also, the express delivery business, which is the FMCG business, so to speak, it is struggling, but yes, management is also again confident that all of these quick delivery e-commerce businesses should be doing well. Now, apart from Zomato, one stock which was under pressure was Marico. We discussed about that, top loser on the Nifty 500. If you look at the company's update, the domestic sales growth numbers were slightly weak. In fact, the management also said that the overall outlook on margin is slightly bleak, given the fact that there is food inflation and pressures on that front, and probably market did not like that quarterly update. Now, Morgan Stanley is over with a target price of 650. Macquarie has outperformer call with a target of 635. So, from the valuation perspective, from the brokerage perspective, nothing much has changed. But yes, if you look at the demand outlook, it is supposed to get improvement in terms of the overall matrix post the festive season or around that festive season. So, probably the onset of the festive season, which will probably give more levers to FMCG industry and Marico, probably that thunder is missing in Q2. Now, if you look at the low double-digit EBITDA growth, that is something which the street is concerned about. If you look at the Q2, food inflation and below normal rainfall has impacted rural demand according to brokerages, and probably because of which the stock was under pressure. In fact, Macquarie goes on to say that weak India commentary and healthy international operations probably led to the stock being under some bit of pressure. In fact, 1% sales decline and 12% EBITDA growth in Q2 is what Macquarie is expecting from Marico. So, in the absence of growth levers, probably the stock of Marico was under pressure and will continue to remain under pressure in the near term, and probably some recovery can be expected in the second half with the start of the Navratris.
Right, Yatin, just a few days ago, I think we was discussing this stock, and ICICI Securities had a buy rating and they had seen a 19% upside on stock, given the fact that the company was aiming for an 8% volume growth in the medium term. So, we'll have to wait and see how the festive season really pans out, and perhaps from there we'll get to know the trajectory the stock takes going forward, and of course the second quarter earnings would be out by then. But let's also talk about L&T. That's the stock or second stock on my list today. I'm slew of order wins for L&T, Yatin, given the fact that it has bagged the buildings and factories business has bagged large orders in the range of 2,500 to 5,000 crore rupees. In fact, it has also secured an order to construct a residential township in Bengaluru. Aside of that, it has won an order from a reputed developer to construct commercial towers in Hyderabad as well. And aside of that, it has also won an order from IIT Kanpur to construct a super specialty hospital as well as an academic block. This, all these order wins, of course, have pushed the stock up 2% in today's session. But there is a positive report coming in from CLSA as well, wherein it has raised the target price to 3,600 rupees per share. It says that over the past 7 days, L&T has in fact landed another $1.5 billion worth of orders for Mumbai infra itself. And overall, of course, the outlook remains robust. In fact, it says that the company could achieve 50% of its order inflow guidance in the first half of the year itself, right? So that way, it's also mentioned that all the order wins that it had seen from Saudi and from the Middle East, much of it is still yet to come. So basically, the best is yet to come. That's what CLSA is saying about L&T. And if you look at the stock, it is already up 50% on a YTD basis. And Yatin, I was just looking at the internals. Price to earnings ratio is somewhere around 38.64, which is lower than the sector PE of 53.34. That means there is still more room for upside. So looks like this stock is like set for some more upside going forward.
Absolutely, and I think in the Middle East markets also they've won a couple of projects, especially for Aramco, which was probably in the news a few weeks back. And the stock is clearly trading at record highs. Obviously, AM Nayak, the veteran, just stepped out from the post of chairman, and now we have the new management team, or rather the old experienced hands again in control of L&T, probably taking guidance from the chairman emeritus AM Nayak.
Well, those were all the stocks on our list this afternoon. But don't forget, tomorrow we have the all-important RBI policy outcome. Of course, we'll be getting you live coverage on Moneycontrol, when the governor starts speaking at 10 a.m. So don't forget to tune in. We'll also be having a battery of experts to decode the policy fine print as well post that. So tune in for that. But for now, it's a goodbye from me and Yatin. Thanks a lot for tuning in. For all your other news and updates, stay tuned to Moneycontrol.